Good evening. We're going to get underway. We're going to rise to the salute to the flag, but we're also going to give a moment of silence for Louise McKenzie, Marion Tisdale, and Richard Merrill, all active in the Council on Aging. Louise McKenzie was 100 years old and held the Boston Post cane for the town. Marion Tisdale was 98 or 99, and Richard Merrill was in his 90s, and they all had lunch every week down at the senior center together, and all died within a matter of a week or two of each other. So, pledge of allegiance first, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. A couple of announcements. First, we had a meeting scheduled for the 23rd of December, which we're not going to have. It's been canceled because I am not available that week. We've changed the meeting to Wednesday, the 17th at 10 a.m. We were going to try to do it that Monday, but I'm in Boston with my daughter, who has an early morning appointment with her surgeon on the next day. So Monday night is out for me also, which is why we're having the meeting on the 17th at 10 a.m. And that's it for those two announcements. The big one is I want to welcome Nicole Emery again. This is her second meeting with the board. Thank you, Nicole, for joining us.
Thank you.
And then I would like Cheryl D'Antonio to come up. We have a presentation from local artist Ron Brake to the town of Abington.
Thank you so much. So unfortunately, Ron could not be with us. He's run into a little bit of ill health, but this is something that he wanted to give to the town. So Ron Brake is an accomplished artist. He's resided in Abington since 1977. His career spanned over many years, designing advertising for a major retail establishment, along with his watercolor artistry. He's provided lessons to a number of individuals over the years, and Helen Career is one of those individuals. And it was my pleasure to meet Ron and to also begin to paint with him. I took this home for him, and it was really hard for me to part with it, but we're happy to give it to him. So he's provided lessons to individuals over the years, and at age 93 continues to do so. So he's been a longtime member of the Abington Rotary Club, donating many paintings to their auction on an annual basis, and his generosity reaches far and wide and continues to this day. He felt that the place for the Abington Depot painting should be with the town of Abington, to reside in the town hall, and he graciously presents this piece of art to the town for the enjoyment of all. So thank you very much.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll accept the go ahead, Kevin.
I was going to make
I know
a
where you're
motion
going.
to send a letter of thanks to Mr. Brake for his very kind, and I can't, there you go. Very nice.
Beautiful.
Very
It
nice.
is
Yes, for his very kind donation to the town.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Next on the agenda, we are going to have the joint water commissioners up with the board to fill a vacancy. If you, Amanda and Bill, come up to the front. Is Vanessa and John here? The applicants, I see John's here. Oh, Vanessa, okay. So we have a vacancy on the water under the charter. The board with the vacancy makes the first nomination, and then we do a roll call vote. Mr. Chairman?
I would like to open the water meeting at 5:35.
Meeting is open.
And
Do you have a recommendation or a nomination?
I'm going to recommend Mr. Tassner.
Okay. So, Amanda? Joe? Okay, and then so we'll go around. Bill? Yea or nay?
Yes. for
Okay.
George Tasnari.
Nicole?
Yay.
Paul?
Yay.
Kevin?
Yes.
Leanne? I'm sorry, geez. I'm thinking of Leanne because she's going to be up here speaking later. Suzanne?
Leanne, you want to switch
Sally.
places?
Sal? Mary?
Yes.
And chairman says yes. Vote is unanimous. Thank you very much.
Very good.
Meeting at 5:36.
That was a quick meeting.
Those are
Very
the best
good.
ones.
Welcome, Mr. Tassinari.
John Tassinari, thank you. Served on the Water Commission for many years and is coming back on to fill the vacancy to help us out. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Next, I would like to bring up the fire chief. Glenn?
Thank you very much. Tonight's the best part of the job. I'll start at the beginning a little bit, but firefighter Mike Cologe followed a dream with his wife and relocated to South Carolina after 12 years of service. He's trading in his Boston accent for a southern drawl. We wish him nothing but the best. He's given an awful lot during that time period. So immediately, the first thing that comes to mind is we've got to get someone in here quick, and we have to get the best of the best because that's the type of team we've built. We have some spies. One of them works part-time in the fire academy, who also happens to be a full-time employee here. And he said, there's a kid, Jay, from another department that I think would be a good match for us. Said, let's see how the interviews go. Long story short, we hired Jay Davies immediately. He comes from the Lakeville Fire Department. He's a firefighter paramedic. He's already trained in the fire academy, did extremely well in the fire academy. So without listening to me too much, we're thrilled to have him. His wife Amber's going to pin him tonight.
Great.
Amber? True experience. They already poked the holes through the opening ahead of time, so it's preparation's fantastic. So congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
This time we're going to have Leanne Adams come up and swear him in officially.
Yeah.
I state your name.
I, J.D. Davies,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United
the
States,
Constitution and general laws
the Constitution and general
of
laws
the Commonwealth of Massachusetts,
for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts,
the Charter and bylaws
the Charter and
of
bylaws
the Town of Abington,
of the Town of
and
Abington,
I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
and to the best of my ability
and to the best of my ability
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office to which I have been appointed.
up to the office of which I've been appointed. Thank you.
Well, so we're going to ask State Representative Allison Sullivan, Almedia. Please. Almedia. That was good.
Wow.
Almedia.
Chief, Almeida for those,
Almeida.
yeah, he's like screws it up every now and then like everyone else, right? Thank you, board, for allowing me to come up. I want to welcome Nicole. I think this is your second meeting, right? Congratulations. And nice to meet you. I'm Allison. Welcome to the town of Abington. Hopefully,
Nice to meet you.
I look forward to working with you as well. But I apologize, but I do have a citation here for you, Jay. I want to welcome you first and foremost to probably one of the better fire departments, or the best in the Commonwealth. I do serve at Whitman and East Bridgewater, so they are great as well. So, but in all seriousness, you do join a great team of men and women. These individuals, time and time again, show up and show out, and they are definitely a great group, and we're lucky to have you, but you're lucky to have them as well. And so I do have a citation here that it recognizes you coming on to the Abington Fire Department and thanks you for your service to the Abington Fire Department. I know Lakeville's going to miss you, but we're welcoming and we're happy to have you. So congratulations to you, and best of luck, and stay safe.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And real quick, I just want to welcome back Hensi Calise. I know the chief was probably going to come up here and say a few words on that. I want to thank him for his service to our country, his deployment. I know his family was very excited to see him. I walked in here and I was so excited to see you. So I'm happy you're here for the holidays with your young children and your wife. And I just, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for your service.
just want to say thank you all. Very excited to be working for this town, and I'm very, very excited to be serving the community. And just thank you all for having me.
Thank you, glad to have you. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you, sir. Welcome aboard. Thank you, sir.
Good luck, thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome, sir.
Chief, we're going to hold you back for a sec to do a couple hearings, okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you. The time being a little bit after 5:35, we have a, Select Board will be holding a public hearing on Monday, December 8th, 2025, at 5:35 PM at the Town Hall, 500 Glenowitz Way, on the request for an increase of a Class 2 license from 28 to 40 vehicles for Route 123 Auto Brokers, and a new commercial garage license for a total of, I think that's going to become 43 spaces at 256 Brockton Ave. Sophia Munoz Leet is the manager. Is Sophia here? Application is in. There does not seem to be any issues with any of the inspectional services. Want to give us a brief rundown, and then you need your cards too.
Give it to me.
Want to tell us about your business?
So I'm the owner of Route 123 Auto Brokers, which is a used car sales lot. And we want to increase the number of vehicles that we can have on the property.
Okay. So if I'm reading everything I have right, we're going up to 37 for sale?
Yes.
Okay.
And then there's also the repair license.
Right, and that'll bring us up to a total of 43?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions by the board before I look to the crowd?
Yeah, I just want to make sure you understand that when we set the limit, that's the limit. We've had, not issues with you, but we've got issues in other parts of town where they've exceeded what was approved. And just so long as you know, when you state for the record while you're here, that the limit is what we end up approving, that you can't go above that. Do you
I
acknowledge
agree.
that?
Yes.
Okay, great, thank you.
Anybody else on the board have any questions? Anybody in the crowd have any questions for this applicant? I'll accept a motion to approve.
I make a motion?
Motion's made, is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion's approved. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is a 5:40 hearing. Select Board will hold a public hearing on Monday, December 8th at 5:40 PM, Town Hall, 500 Glenowitz Way, at the request for a pledge of inventory, pledge of license, transfer of all alcohol victual license, entertainment, common vic, and automated amusement licenses from RBRC Inc., DBA Deanne Sports and Entertainment, Ralph Berry, manager, to Ale Restaurant Corp., DBA Deanne's Anwa LaRossi, manager, 340 Center Ave, Abington. There you
Yes.
are.
Yes. Good afternoon, good evening. My name is Sydney Prokos, an attorney from Vieira and Dejan Filippo. I work with attorney Matt Porter. You may have corresponded with him. We represent Anwar LaRossi, who's right here, from Ale Restaurant Corp., which is purchasing Deanne Sports, an entertainment restaurant at 340 Center Ave. Mr. LaRossi is the sole owner of the corporation and the proposed manager. Anwar has been in the restaurant world since 2011, working at several other restaurants with no issues at the state or local level, and he'll have his alcohol tip certification before the ABCC approves this application. He already has several other certifications like ServSafe, CPR, allergy. We're here before you today requesting the necessary approval related to the purchase of this restaurant. So, like you said, that's the transfer of the all-alcohol liquor license, per Section 11 of the application, pledge of inventory and license to Rockland Trust, common vic, and entertainment licenses for their duck claw machine and the trivia, which are already in existence at the restaurant. Notably, these approvals that we're requesting are all for internal changes at the restaurant. No changes to external business operations like hours of operation, location, or even the restaurant name, just internal movement related to this purchase. And to summarize, Mr. LaRossi is an experienced owner in the restaurant business, taking over a well-established restaurant. Their lease is in place, financing in order, getting alcohol tip certification for himself and anyone else who's handling alcohol at the restaurant, of course. And should the board approve these changes today, their application will go to the ABCC and we'll be on our way. Any questions?
I have one.
Sure.
I just noticed they didn't check off, will the landlord receive revenue based on the sales of alcohol?
I doubt it. Nope.
No?
Nope.
Okay, thanks.
And we can make that
Nope,
change as
that's
well.
fine.
Nice.
Just wanted to make sure.
Sure.
Questions by the board?
I do, Counsel, if I could.
Yes.
Just the manager of record, Mr. LaRussa, he'll be on the premises?
40 hours minimum.
Very good, thank you.
Yep.
For the entertainment license?
Yes.
It just says other. What was the entertainment? I see the duck machine on the,
And trivia?
oh, okay, thank you.
Yes. Any other ones? Good questions.
Anybody in the crowd have any questions, comments? Motion to approve by the board, all the inspectional services are in order.
So moved on all the license request and the pledge of license.
Second,
I'll second.
all those in favor? Aye. Unanimous.
Thank you.
Good luck, thank you.
Take care.
I just want, before we bring the chiefs up, I just want to jump to Nicholas Sirignano. Come on up, Nick, we're going to jump to you so you can. Nick applied for a taxi limo livery license at 105 Randolph Street. You want to just tell the board what you're looking to do?
So I'm looking to start a livery service. I only have one car at the moment, but I would like to try to use it to create a business and then expand it if possible.
Okay, his applications is in order. He does livery primarily to the airport.
Yes.
Any questions by the board? Anybody in the crowd have any questions? Motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. You're
Good
over.
luck.
Thank you so much,
All right,
guys.
good luck, man.
Do you know what the next step is? Because I don't even know.
Have you been licensed by Massport yet?
I was told that I had to do it after this.
After that? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, what we'll do is you'll get a communication from the town manager's office. You can then apply to Massport for your airport license.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
All right,
guys.
good luck.
Appreciate that.
Next on the agenda, we'd like to have the fire chief up for a department update. Thanks, chief.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the new hire.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful too that I'm going before the police chief because I asked him today to please don't do any PowerPoints because I ran out of crayons for my notes. He always makes me look bad. All seriousness, thank you for the time. As I said, Mike Cologe moved south and did a super job for us during the time he was here, and we were grateful to get Jay. To break it down, Jay was a find, another find. The Lakeville Fire Chief right now is kind of poking holes in a voodoo doll with our name on it because he's the third person we've claimed from Lakeville in the last 10 years. Super pickup. Another thing that goes with that, though, it's very important with the way we're in such a budget crisis now, is by getting Jay's firefighter 1 and 2 certified through the Fire Academy, Massachusetts, he's a plug-and-play guy. Conservatively, we're guessing that we're probably saved between 6 and 7 months of overtime by having him hired rather than someone fresh out of school. Not that there's anything against that, but right now that's a biggie for us. So we're plugging in a very experienced guy. We've matched him up with the right group. We're thrilled to have him. One of the other things that we're thrilled the most about is in a couple openings that we've had, our reputations, in all kidding aside, our reputation's preceding us because we're really attracting some good people. And years ago, that wasn't necessarily, it was one of those, we had one candidate that was really strong and then other people, but we actually have people knocking on the door saying, hey, you got the opening soon, anything going on, while the other departments are losing people. So that's indicative of all the members of the department. It has nothing to do with me. That's the people in here that do it every single day. As far as the budget goes, right now, we back our budget out weekly. We are on pace to meet the budget or maybe come in a little under. Anything can happen. We can't predict storms. We can't predict injuries. We can't predict big incidents, but we're on pace to stay where we need to be. Our call volume is on pace to come close, if not surpass last year's total, which is the highest we've had in the history of the department. We're not getting slower. One of the things we're noticing the most, though, is the acuity of the calls. We're doing many more serious calls, whereas we could have, 18 or 19 runs in a 24-hour period. 3 or 4 of those could be like life-threatening. We're doing about half now. Both ambulances are being in use constantly during the day. We're averaging 3 times per 24-hour shifts where both ambulances are being used at the same time. We've had shifts recently that were 9 times in a 24-hour period. For instance, we had a group 3 weeks ago. They had 3 consecutive calls in which they had to take a third person to go with them in the ambulance, from another call because of the serious nature. We actually were returning the engine with a third person, got a call for 2 different calls. One was for an unresponsive person, one was for a stroke. They were going by the house where the stroke was. They literally kicked the guy in the back seat out with a radio and says, "You're there, Whitman's coming in for you, we're going to the unresponsive." He calls back, immediately says, "This is within our range for a stroke. We're going to Tufts with this person because we have certain criteria that if it's an active stroke, we can get there, make a difference, and we're seeing it every day." They took care of that. The rest of the crew went and worked. I'm going to kill this thing. Sorry, talk with my hands. But they then worked on the unresponsive person and got the unresponsive person back. One call, I've got to protect confidentiality, but someone that a handful of us know really well in town, very young man, had a severe heart attack. Our guys were fantastic. They treated him. They had a 12-lead EKG already sent to the hospital before he got on the stretcher, had the catheterization team waiting for him, went through surgery, had a cath, talked to him about 3 days ago. He's home, still going through some stuff. I know you may be familiar with him as well too, super person, but that makes it even tougher too when it's people we know, and it's our community, so we know everybody. Let's see if I hit on a couple of things I wanted to. Most recently, we had I'm sure a lot of you heard about it, there was a fatal trench collapse down in Yarmouth. It's out of Plymouth County, and it's not what we would normally, wouldn't be our area, but it was such a tragic situation that they called Plymouth County Tech Rescue Team members. 5 of our members lead that team. They were there, they were involved with recovery. They went down there, and they did a super job from what everybody said. We got thanks from everybody down there that it was overwhelming, as you can imagine. But our experience is what shows. And I think that's the biggest thing I want to point out for anybody, and you'll hear me say it all the time. I feel like we have an all-star team, and I know I'm biased, but we have people that other departments would love to have. And I'm a member of this community, and it's interesting when people will reach out to me and say, "Well, I had these guys, they were great the other night," and they're like, "Are they like some of your best guys?" And I say to them honestly, there isn't anybody in our department that I wouldn't want coming with my family, and I would know better than anybody. So it's a terrific team. We want to keep them together. We also had the mass casualty incident over in Rockland with Webster Park Nursing Home. Myself, the deputy chief, and Group 4 with Captain Gardner, firefighter Barry, Nix, and Silva played an integral role in that night. We successfully evacuated 102 patients to other locations around the state within about a 2.5 to 3 hour period. I was EMS officer working with some of the chiefs there. The deputy had to handle staging by himself, and staging might sound like a fancy word, but basically you're in a parking lot around the corner with about 57 trucks there and trying to herd kittens and keep everybody at their trucks and say, "Okay, we're calling for 5 more, go. These 5 go, this is what's coming." He handled that. Our guys did yeoman's work. They were up and down stairs. We were doubling up ambulances. Our guys had them in chairs. We're carrying them down 3 flights of stairs. I know how sore I felt for 2 days, so I can only imagine how sore they felt doing twice the amount of work I did physically. Again, we heard from everybody, said your team was fantastic, and we were part of a team, but again, I'm so proud. You're going to see us out there now. We're doing a lot of training, and this is important for us, and I brought this up to you guys a bunch of times before, that the training's so important for us to build the camaraderie, but build the efficiency too, and it keeps us safe. And we train all the time on rescue techniques and how we do, more with less. The training we're doing now, it was put together by Captain Crow, who's also our training instructor. He put together the firefighter survival program. It's a national program and curriculum, whereas the house at Bedford Street from the Strawberry Valley. We posted a little bit on our social media where they put a blackout mask completely on you. They bring you in the building, they fill it with smoke, but you can't see anything anyways. Rotate you 3 times while you're standing there, like you pin the tail on the donkey. You then got to get down on your knees, and you've got to call a mayday that you're lost, and you've got to find your way out by tracing that hose. It's exhausting because there's 85 pounds of equipment. Anybody that doesn't have that ability to slow yourself down, you're going to run out of air. You're throwing furniture out of the way. And it was terrific. And I sat there and I watched so many of these guys go through, and I was trying to take a videotape. And I had to warn the captain. I said, for the last time, can you guys stop swearing? Because they're literally, it's like a football team. Everybody's in there, and in the dark, they're rooting everybody on. You can hear them say, go, go, you're almost there. The enthusiasm is just, it's incredible. It's so good to watch. And it's watching the older guys kind of going, yeah, I can show up a little bit, but at the same time, the young bucks can kind of teach me something too. So it's fantastic to watch. We're doing it right now in a house over in North Ave with Wall Sheet Metal. They bought a house, and they're going to be making a parking lot. They asked if we could use it, and that's been a key for us because one of the new things we deal with structurally is spray foam hoses. Everybody's using spray foam. Spray foam, trying to cut through that to ventilate a roof, it's a time-consuming job. So it was an opportunity for the guys to do that again, go through that stuff. Again, we're on budget. We've already turned in, we're going to be meeting with the Finance Committee next week. And we've had to turn in, as the town manager has asked, a level-funded budget. It's going to hit us hard. We've found a way. Unfortunately, we're going to be cutting a lot of the training we're talking about. But the important priority for us is we have to keep that second ambulance in service. We have to. And we can't be sending people out by themselves like it happened 20 years ago. It's unsafe. So that second ambulance, if we can't fill a spot, we can't fill the second ambulance and so forth. So beyond the money that we generate on the ambulance revenue, we're making a difference to people in their everyday lives. It's not always going to be the primary ambulance that's going to make a difference. It's going to be that second ambulance coming from headquarters going to this person's house. We're bringing in people off duty. So like with the MCI, the mass casualty incident over in Rockland, it's great that we're over there and we're taking credit with everybody else that did it. Captain Cotter comes in from Middleborough. He's got the guys off duty there. He's already got a staff to protect the town as well while all this is going on. And those are the, those are the guys. So if you don't have any, I'm done.
I have, if I could.
Nope, please do.
You touched on something, Chief, that I want to perhaps shine a spotlight on when you had mentioned about the level-funded budgets. And in order to achieve level funding, we're waiting, of course, when the governor files her budget to determine what the local aid numbers will be, and we won't know that till the end of January. But in order to get to level funding, we're going to need our free cash certified, which has got nothing to do with you, but it's going to tailor in later on the agenda. And with Representative Sullivan Almeida being here, I wanted to, we have a problem and we'll discuss it later on in the agenda, but I think it's a focal point now. In order to get the free cash certified, we have to have the FY24 audit completed. There are a number of communities around us, like 18 or 20, that have been using the same accounting firm that has gotten bought out, and we're all in the same boat. The problem is the Department of Revenue probably won't look at our free cash certification. It's going to be crucial to the town of Abington that we get our free cash certified, and I would ask the board to consider asking our legislative delegation to wait upon the Department of Revenue to assist us, because without that, we won't be able to achieve level funding for even the fire department. So that's going to be an integral part, and we're going to really need the assistance of our legislators to help us imploring with the Department of Revenue to get us certified, from that standpoint. So I wanted to take that opportunity
Absolutely. No,
to
absolutely.
interject that, just so everybody understands. We have issues trying to get to level funding this year, too.
So,
That's it.
Chief, compliment to you, the department, the way things are going. Great to have the new guy on board. And Kevin and I were
them
lucky.
doing the work.
Kevin and I were lucky enough to be here 30 some odd years ago when we appointed you. And
it's your worst mistake ever. But, thankfully, they make me look better than I
no,
am.
one of the
so.
best ones. So
You started the paramedic program.
Very,
Yes, you
very
did.
proud of our team. I really am. I could go for days. That's why I'm trying to cut it off early so that Chief Bonnie can get up here. I will tell you that there's been nothing better than the work relationship between the police and fire. It's incredible. Like, we were having a logistics meeting today about the Santa ride. Saturday, I will be driving Santa around town in an engine. I'll let them speak more on it, but it's a cohesive effort that we're very, very proud of, and I love working with these guys. And we're very fortunate when we speak to other communities. They kind of marvel at us and say, boy, you guys get along great. And I said, we do. If you can only see the behind the scenes on some of the meetings we have and the banter we have going back and forth, and it's a tribute to their leadership too. So thank you for your time tonight.
And one more thing, I think it's imperative people understand the importance of 2 ambulances,
Without a
especially
doubt.
if you have someone that needs a medical emergency and the first one's tied up. So
Without a doubt. Minutes count, and prime example in that heart attack that I spoke of, having that 12 EDKG sent to the cath lab, so they've got the cath lab activated, waiting for the patient to get in there. This gentleman's in his 40s.
I was just going to say, I don't think
He's in his
his dead
40s.
mind, he's in his 43
That's-
years old.
You know him, I can't say, but I'm just saying, in his 40s.
Saved
I was
his life.
talking with him 2 days ago, and it makes a difference. We are, like I said, I could brag all day long, but we are in, you have a level of success with heart attacks and CPR resuscitations around the country. Then you have a little high with Massachusetts. Our department for the last 3 years has been here, and I don't want to jinx anybody, but I know for a fact that they give the very best opportunity to the people in this town to survive the worst-case scenario, and they take it to heart when it doesn't happen. And I try to explain to some of the younger guys that have been doing it a little less time than me is, think about if you weren't there, and that's what you got to get at. Think about it, you've made a difference, and sometimes it feels like you lost, you didn't lose. You're trying to pull a miracle out on stuff, and they're successful 90 times out of 100. The stats are unbelievable, and I hope it continues, but I know with the leadership that we have with the area EMS coordinator and the success we have is going to continue. So,
Great.
thank you.
Thank the men on our behalf. and the women-
Absolutely will
And the
do.
women of the department.
Thank you all. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
I'd like to have the police chief up now, please.
Mr. Chairman, is it okay if I hang out and heckle the police chief for a bit?
Well, you've used up most of his time, so he has about 30 seconds to make his presentation.
I will say, our job gets increasingly dangerous. Our guys have been injured a number of times, including one of them just got bit at a call the other day. And if our guys get hurt, I want to make sure that we have 2 ambulances too, because there's no crew I'd rather have than their crew helping us out. Real quick, welcome, Nicole and Michael. It was real nice meeting with you today. Had you come in and meet our staff. It was very nice, and I look forward to working with you. Scott, if you don't mind, real quick, I'd just like to say thank you for everything. Working with you has been unbelievable. You were always there when I called. My first few months, I feel like every time I called you, it was some tragedy in town, so I thank you for continuing to pick up the phone. It was just a real pleasure to work with you, but a true honor to get to know you, so good luck to you in Kingston. 2025 for us has been a whirlwind. For the Abington Police Department, in February of this year, we we graduated 3 brand-new police officers. They are now on the road. They're out of field training. Last month when I was here, we introduced 7 new police officers. They are halfway through their field training. They're progressing unbelievably well. I'm really proud of not just them, but the field training team, getting them ready to work as solo patrol officers. We've had so much excitement in our agency. So many new things happened, but I sent an email to the rest of the department earlier this week, talking about how I felt there's just been something missing throughout all of this excitement. And shortly after I came on last September, Sergeant Cleese, who's with us here today, pulled me aside. I've really worked 1 or 2 shifts with him, and he told me that he was being sent overseas for a long-term deployment with the United States Army. He went to Poland with a transportation team. I had lunch with him last Friday. Was it Friday? Friday. Yeah, Friday. Really just to get to know him for the first time. And we met at noon. And 10 minutes later, we looked at our phones to see what time it was, and it was 3 o'clock. We had an amazing lunch. Sergeant Cleese told me about how proud he was of his older son, Hensi, for really stepping up and taking ownership of being a man in the house for his mom and his younger siblings. And then he went on to talk to me about how proud he was of his unit, the transportation unit. He returned safely with 100% of the people in his unit. He provided logistic services to the NATO countries in a very unstable area. And I'd just like to say welcome home to him, and we're now a complete team.
Thank you for your service, not only to the country, to the town, and your family too while you were gone.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.
Very good.
Was the fire chief at that lunch that went 3 hours?
No. He's got alligator arms. He reach into his pocket and pull out. Sorry.
I gave you that one, chief.
You did. You laid that one up for me, and give me some more. So 2025 for us was an unbelievable year. Technology-wise, we got all sorts of grant. Sergeant Feely and Lieutenant Simmons has done just a wildly incredible job at getting us some grant money. So a little tiny department like ours, we have 2 drones. Next week, we have training for our body camera program, which this police department, through research, has been trying to get off the ground since 2015. We anticipate those going into play on January 1. We have a UTV that we utilize to bring Santa in for the Abington Celebrates. Mr. Maresco tried our VR training on earlier today. Tomorrow we'll start our first round of VR goggle training, and it really puts you in a real-life scenario where you can do shoot, don't shoot, tase, don't tase, de-escalation training right in our own building. We have 3 of those at I invite you all to come in at some point and try these things out. It's absolutely incredible. Aside from the 7 new police officers, we hired 2 full-time desk attendants, which really, really, truly cuts down on a ton of overtime in our department. Unfortunately, it took us a while to fill all those positions, but we did have to go in order to save some money. At the time, we went dark for a little bit on the overnight shift. I vowed never to do that again on our 3 to 11 shift. We did have a in custody attempted suicide, and it's just too dangerous. We cannot at any time go dark in that building at all. Thankfully, our brand new desk attendant was very, very sharp, got on the radio quickly and got everybody in and took care of the issue. I know budgets are a big topic, and ours is extremely tough and extremely tight. Last week we're not even halfway through the fiscal year, and our overtime budget is already exhausted. This will improve come really February, March, April. We'll get a very good sense of the impact of the 7 new police officers. The 7 new police officers we hired, I cannot say it enough, brings us to minimum staffing. In 2022, before I got here, we were authorized for 25 patrolmen. Now we're authorized for 19. The 20th is on a grant that we have. 20 patrol officers is a number that's just way too small to patrol our streets. At the conclusion of 2024, our department had 630 arrests. As of my arrival here today, we have 712 with over 3 weeks to go in the year. This department is amazingly busy. Just like Chief Glenn talked about, his numbers are going up, our numbers are going up. Our numbers of bodies simply cannot go down. If we lose the funding we're seeking, we're going to lose our entire civilian staff. 4 of those civilian staff positions have to be filled. They take the place of uniformed patrol officers. They're firearms licensing, the court prosecutor, the evidence officer, and public records, all positions that you have to have. And we could lose 5 to 6 patrol officers, bringing us down to 14. And then with the 14, I'd have to backfill those civilian positions with police officers, bringing us to 10 for the street. This isn't sky is falling numbers. These are really, really true numbers. These are numbers that I have worked out with our executive assistant, the deputy chief. This isn't like, I'm not trying to be alarmist here. This is 10 patrol officers. That means 0 for the schools, 10 for the streets. And there's no way we can operate with less than what we have, which is 2 patrol officers and a sergeant on the street. If we just get the funding that we're seeking, we keep everybody in the building, which again, like I said earlier, was our minimum staffing. So if we are able to get to our minimum staffing, our goals for next year are entirely achievable. We're going to add a detective come our shift bid. I'd like to see, in the last several months, we've had so many calls where the suspect has taken off on foot, including a month ago where we had a guy on Bedford Street pistol whip someone and take off on foot. We call for canines. They come out. It's phenomenal to rely on mutual aid. Rockland's been great for us. Sheriffs are great for us. But if we have a full staff, we can reinstate the canine program. And if we had our own dog, I'm pretty sure that guy that took off and ditched the gun, because we just found that gun. We didn't find it. I don't want to take credit for it. A neighbor was doing some yard work, and she found it in her yard last week. So that gun has been sitting there for over a month. And, if we had a patrol canine on shift, it could have taken a bite out of his backside, and we could have put him in handcuffs. Some other things, we'd like to do is we'd like to increase our training. So with the amount of high-stress calls that we have going on, you all deserve the highest and best trained police department there is. Without the funding, we won't be able to send anybody to specialized training. Again, just the funding that we're requesting will get us all of this. The last time I was here with the motion to add 4 officers to the staff, if we're able to do that, we can increase our partnerships with the federal law enforcement agents. We have currently, right now, Sergeant Lynch is attached to the FBI Boston Gang Task Force. The resources that brings in for us, we were able to secure for an operation for stolen motor vehicles. We were able to secure for a short time a surveillance van. Nobody would know it was an FBI van. It had all sorts of surveillance cameras. Our stolen motor vehicles, since we instituted our flock cameras and we chased all these people in stolen cars, has absolutely plummeted. And these are verifiable numbers. Our flock cameras hit on stolen cars. We publicized what we've done. Stolen cars have gone down through our town. So if we get the 4 additional officers, then we can seek to have a partnership with the DEA task force, which brings in all sorts of federal money. The FBI Gang Task Force brings resources. The DEA task force brings in federal money. And we'll be able to send our officers, because we get to use it for training anywhere in the country, gold standard training, and it's just a matter of getting support from our community, which I know they've given us all along. And lastly, if we are able to keep all our funding, I think in September, October, we could open our doors and have our first Citizens Police Academy, allowing people from the town to come in, learn the laws, try out our technology. Did you like that?
It was fantastic.
It's pretty cool, right? And try that out. And just a better way to connect with the community. And at the end, they could do a ride along with us and really see what we've been doing.
Any questions for the chief?
If I could, Chief, and you touched on again, and I'm going to sound like a broken record, but in order for us to achieve level funding, we're going to need the free cash certified. Without that, the cuts go deeper. So that'll have a defined impact as far as what we're able to afford within the revenues that we have. Subsequent to that, we've already made plans. As you know, we're looking at the menu approach for an override, and then the question of additional personnel put before the people and let them make that determination at the ballot. But ancillary to that, when you had mentioned you ran out of overtime, now the delta gap between now and February, when the new officers will hopefully be able to recruit that, do you have a plan to kind of deal with that?
So we have, we haven't really touched our training budget completely. I mean, it's been touched a little bit. And then our vacation line is still fairly robust. And what we hopefully will be able to do is balance vacation time when the new officers are out on, we did strike a deal with the union to basically institute a minimum manning, and that will help protect against overtime for vacations. So we do have a plan going forward.
Okay.
But for me to sit here and say that we'll be able to stay within that budget, I
No, I
couldn't do
understand,
that.
and I understand it all, it's all dependent upon the call volume and the call activity, but you've got something in place that you're looking at, then,
Yes.
is what you're saying.
Yes, and like I said, moving to the desk attendant position has saved tens of thousands, because we were just filling it with overtime on, with uniform, and it's still done on the weekends. We don't have civilian positions for the weekends, but, we have 3 part-time desk attendants and 2 full-time, which has made it, we've made huge strides in saving money in other places. But, a smaller step, we have a new phone system. It was expensive to pay for up front, but going forward, it should save us hundreds of dollars a month. And I know that's not a lot, but it's still a savings. We were able to secure cell phones for each member of the department. We don't have to, and that's going to save us from actually paying a cell phone bill for 5 months. So it really would almost get us to the next fiscal year. So we're saving money in that front. We've eliminated cable from our building. We've done these steps to try and cut in large areas like the overtime on the desk to all the way to small areas where we're not paying for cable anymore. So
No, and I think when I looked at the year-to-date the other day, I mean, we're 42% into the fiscal year, and your personnel line item was right at 42%. So I think from the overall aspect, you're right there, but I guess the question becomes is, that stopgap, if you will, but you've indicated you've.
And the expenses side looks a little bit lower, but we front-loaded the big payments for things that are big-ticket items, so that we are anticipating balancing out throughout the year.
Okay.
So
Very
we're doing what we can, and we really just thank you for the opportunity to come up and share about our department, and just what a pleasure it was to be able to honor Sergeant Police here tonight, too. So
Very good. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Thank you.
Anybody else on the board have anything? Anybody in the
I'll be by
crowd?
for the VR.
what's that?
I'll be by to try the VR.
Absolutely, come on by. It's
One thing,
phenomenal.
I know you're already on this, I really don't want to see the guys leaving the schools, not in this day and age, so.
No, not a chance. I'd like to add a third.
Yeah,
at
thank
some
you for
point.
bringing that up. That's imperative. To me, it's like the second ambulance, so
Yep.
I think unfortunately nowadays, we have to have coverage in the schools, so just giving my 2 cents.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, chief.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is discussion and vote on dedication plaques for the new fire headquarters and DPW facility. Kevin?
Mr. Chairman, I got to move that it is the policy and directive of the Select Board that the town manager is hereby directed to ensure that suitable plaques are prepared and are to be affixed in a public place on the new fire headquarters and DPW facility that are under construction, and to read as delineated below. Fire headquarters. The fire headquarters is dedicated to all those who have served, currently serve, and will serve as firefighters in the Abington Fire Department, and under the leadership of the respective chief fire engineers and fire chiefs who have formed and enhanced fire suppression and emergency medical services in the town since the inception and organization of the Abington Fire Department in 1883, listed below. And I've listed all the chief engineers and chiefs of the fire department, 1 through 16, with their names and dates of service. And as it relates to the DPW facility is dedicated to all those who have currently serve, and will serve in the Abington Highway Department and Abington Department of Public Works under the leadership of the following. At the May 12th, 1906 annual town meeting, voters abolished the elected road commissioners and approved the appointment of a superintendent of streets. And then I go on to list the, by names from 1906, the 9 superintendent of streets, and then when we morphed into a Department of Public Works, the superintendent of Public Works, for a total of 10. That way, there's a plaque in the respective buildings that recognizes the history and the leadership since the inception of both departments. That's my motion.
Any discussion on the motion? I think it's a great idea. Everybody's recognized for both fire department and the highway, now known as the DPW. Anybody out in the crowd have anything? Nope. Motion's made. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. Vote unanimous. Next, town manager update on financial situation with free cash and reconciliation of accounts.
So at this point, as Mr. Donovan alluded to, we are awaiting the finalization of the FY24 audit. The company that does the audit for us is Powers and Sullivan, which was bought up by a company called Markham, which subsequently was bought out by a company called CBiz, which is buying lots of companies. And unfortunately, their service is not very good. We are with several communities, or multiple communities, as Mr. Donovan mentioned, that are behind schedule and waiting for CBiz to complete our audits. Many of these towns are concerned the same as we are, that we're not going to be able to get free cash certified in time, that it will affect our bond ratings, and where we have other issues. So we have impressed upon them that we need to get this done as soon as possible for all the reasons that we just mentioned. But at this point in time, I have been working with them to find out exactly what's slowing things down. Our department says that they're well caught up and ready to go for FY24. If there's any other reconciliations that are missing, they're within a couple weeks of having them done. Unfortunately, without that being done, we just don't have that free cash number yet, which is an integral part of the next budget.
Kevin?
If I could we, I guess, looking at it on two fronts, could we, as I mentioned previously, contact the legislative delegation and ask them to try and prevail upon DOR to Department of Revenue to get our free cash certificate, if in good faith we're attempting to do the audit? That would be number one, to see what we could do there. Secondly, if with all the communities that are in the same boat, perhaps MMA could prevail upon Department of Revenue as well. And then lastly, I guess what I would say is, if you could give CBiz a deadline and to say, listen, we need this audit completed. If you cannot guarantee us this, is there, and I know it'll cost money, unfortunately, but if DOR comes back and says, no, we need the audit, we're stuck. And we're bumping up against time. So if there's any way there is another firm out there, and I don't know, the ones we normally would use seem to be all caught up in this. And this isn't, we're not alone in this. When I was in Hanson a few weeks ago, they threatened to take Moody's. Moody's threatened to downgrade them.
Hanson, Rockland, Rehoboth,
Yeah, there's a whole
host
like
of
20 of them like that.
Yeah, and, a couple of the towns have issued letters of non-performance. We do have another year on the contract, which, we'll hold over their head, because as far as I'm concerned, they've not met their deadlines and they've not performed.
No, and I think the other issue too is by getting MMA involved, it'd be like, listen, you want to do business in the Commonwealth with us, if this is how you're gonna treat your clients, then maybe you shouldn't be doing business.
Yes.
So, but my own suggestion would be, if we can prevail upon our legislators, firstly, to see if they can convince DOR to say, okay, we get it, we'll we understand maybe we could give you a one-year hiatus because this isn't your fault, but in good faith, you're, keeping at it. We'll still certify your numbers if that's the case.
Yeah, and I think I'll reach out, to all those other communities to ask them to do.
The same thing, I
Same.
think, too.
Yeah.
And, okay, that's just my.
All set on this? Anybody else have anything? Next on the agenda is the annual license renewal and considering waiving the fees for the Legion. So we have a stack of all of the licenses that get renewed on an annual basis in town. The office tells us that everybody's app is in order, their insurances are in order, their taxes are paid, workman's comp, et cetera, liability insurance. We usually take these, I believe, in a motion to approve all of them at once, if everybody's so inclined.
I'll make a motion, we approve all the licenses that are before us as delineated on the sheet as provided, with the understanding that all have complied with it, and with the added provision that we did this last year, that we waived the fees for the American Legion post on all licenses.
Motion's made, is there a second?
I'll second.
Anybody in the crowd have anything on this? All those in favor?
Aye.
Vote is unanimous. Last thing on the agenda is an update from the town manager on the recent bid of the North and Center schools for the fourth time, I think.
Yeah,
So we just put.
Groundhog Day.
We just put the North and Center schools out for bid for the fourth time. This time, there were no restrictions on what they could do in the building, meaning that it wasn't restricted to a 40B, or wasn't restricted to elderly. It was approved for water, it was approved for sewer, it was approved by conservation, and they had zoning approval for up to 20 one-bedroom units at each school. And if I'm not mistaken, we got 0 bids for the fourth time.
You are correct.
What appears to be the problem or the issue is both of the schools, as with many in the world, are full of asbestos, which is a costly situation. So I would like to get a motion from the board to allow the town manager to talk to town council to give us a suggestion on legally how we would proceed other than just putting it out for a fourth time. I don't know what the options are legally for the town to dispose of a couple of old schools.
Yeah.
Anybody have any, it's
No,
just
I-
a suggestion on my part. I mean, we need to get these back on the tax rolls. And, I don't know.
Is there any way we can do anything? I know obviously North School is being utilized by DPW now, but what about Center School for like training for fire, police? I'm not even saying just for Abington, but for other towns to
The
use.
problem is the asbestos.
Yeah.
If it's
They're
not
not in,
viable,
they're,
asbestos?
yeah, the buildings are minimally covered by our umbrella insurance.
Okay.
They're not safe to be, for that, we'd have to clean them out even without messing with
Yeah,
asbestos,
regardless what you
just
do.
to, yeah. Otherwise, we have in the past let Plymouth County use North School for training with dogs and search and rescue, but even that's just not in shape right now that I would recommend against it. I think I'll invite the developer, and he did offer to come in and sort of, there was one developer who was very interested in the project. Mostly it's just, even at what we got permitted through zoning, doesn't offer them enough because of the cost of the asbestos abatement and the way that the variances worked, and to get the variance on Center School, they were still required to stay within and use that building. So it would force them to get beyond that number of units to actually be able to make it profitable to seek another variance. And the North School property was just also ultimately problematic in getting permitting for something beyond that 20. I think it's worth a conversation probably with one or two members of this board with this developer to find out exactly what that changes could be, and then to discuss whether we'd want to make those changes. Again, at some point, you may want to bring them in and involve, some of the community to talk about it also. But in the interim, I will find out from town council what a what our options are at this point, where we've tried so many times.
Thank you. I think that's it for the board. I want to thank everybody again for agreeing to change a couple of meetings to accommodate my little cherub. I really appreciate that, means a lot. Anybody have anything else before we go? I'm sorry, ma'am.
I don't know how these things work. I mean, can I come up and say something?
Well, depends on.
About,
To be on the agenda.
what do you,
About the opioid remediation committee,
sure, come on up.
I don't take them.
That's okay.
Mary DeRamo from Buckboard Lane in Abington. I spoke with you, Nicole. Here I am.
Hello.
Nicole said, "Do you come to the meetings?" And I said, "No." So I'm going to now. It's very interesting. Kevin Donovan, I read your things on Facebook. I love the whole fire department thing. All right, I won't take up too much time. What I'm here for is, so Purdue Pharma caused an avalanche of opioid addiction in the whole country. And they have, finally, the suit is settled, and they've been asked to give money to every city and town. So Abington got a lot of money. And we had an opioid remediation committee, and they had done some work with it, given out some of the money and such, and it's been disbanded. And I just don't want that money to get lost or overlooked, or, because at the end of that committee, it was said that all the financials for that were going to be on the town website, and I have not seen anything about it. Don't want it to get lost. This is very important money to us and our families. One of my family members was involved, and it tore our family apart. And there's a lot of people in Abington in the same situation as myself. That, to us, is sacred money.
And I recall when you were up before, and I apologize because I set the agenda, so I will make sure that we get updated figures and we get it on the agenda.
That would be wonderful.
Nope, we will make sure of that.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
I
thank you.
look forward to that. All
Okay.
right, thank you. That's all I wanted to say.
Roger, who currently keeps track of the line items, the money, in and out of the money? Is
The
it us?
accountant,
Oh, okay, okay,
yeah, so we can request,
Okay.
a run of the account from him.
okay.
And then we'll just put it on the agenda end of January and give an update and figure out what's
And
what.
if I may, we do have, there are actually 2 requests right now that I have from 2 different organizations that have requested some of the funds. So it's also important to note that those, the payments to the town are incremental. So although we were awarded X amount from Purdue and X amount from CBS and different companies, it doesn't all come at once. So every year we get checks in different amounts, but Andrew will provide all that information, and actually I'm going to see Samantha Linehan with In-House Alternatives to update. We do have a webpage for the allocation committee, and we just haven't updated the page, and we will get that information on there also.
We'll have that done by the end of the year.
We adjourn.
We adjourn by Mr. Donovan, second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, have a nice night, everybody.